not saying that's a bad thing.
What up, everybody? This is Extreme Shot here. I am VOD reviewing my boy JM Go Blue 77, also known as Jason. He is playing Jett on Split, and looks like they start off on defense. All right, so let's get this started.
You're just gonna break that shit.
See what goes on here.
Yeah. Whatever.
Did you? Hold on. Did you know that the Viper wall was there?
Viper's already walled, they haven't.
Oh, your teammate calmed it. Okay.
Could be a fake.
Yeah, it could be.
I don't know what to trip on being. That shit.
Yeah, so here, I mean, you have a sheriff, first off, that's fine. Especially with Jett's kit. I'd say you kind of over-peek that a little too much. You kind of, like, peek it, get shot once, but then you, like, keep peeking it even though there's a Viper smoke there, which doesn't make the most sense, I'll say.
On the screen. What bad timing.
Reloading. Party's over.
One hell, one hell. One hell.
Last player standing.
Yeah. So, I mean, good job creating space there. Looks like you guys just kind of got shredded. No big deal. Yeah, only thing you're at around, I wouldn't peek so long at the top of ramp. So you guys are on pistol. Looks like they're going to go B. I'm not expecting too much out of this round overall. And they're just holding you. Kind of unlucky. Is what it is, though. Alright, so first big buy round coming in.
Yeah, bunch of.
And, you know, they're probably going to be bonusing, you know, have worse guns than you do.
Could be up ramps, up ramps.
So I'd be trying to play long angles here and not be trying to play, you know, up in their face.
Wait, sounds like they're backing off.
I'm smoked off screen.
One up ramps.
One backed off, at least.
One ramps.
There's nothing B yet.
They're coming, they're coming. Two on site, three on site, three on site.
Alright, couple things here. The comm was kind of late that they're coming.
They're coming, they're coming.
Because, like, there's 3 already on site by the time you calmed it. So that's the first thing. And then the second thing is you have all this util down here, but you don't really use any of it. And
They're coming, they're coming.
like, that's not good because you probably could have gotten a pick there and dashed away if you would have, you know, thrown a smoke down. Like, if you would have thrown a smoke, like, to your left right now, like, right over here, and then peek this, you might have been able to even get 2 kills and then dash to elbow and get away. But instead, you know, you just get that one-on-one kill, but you get traded right away. Which is fine, but, you know, when you're on defense, it's a lot worse to get traded because it just opens up gaps in your, you know, defense, and the attackers can get a lot more area of the map. Alright, you guys got anti-eco, not good, but you've got knives. The rest of your team probably just rocking deagles, so also, again, probably not expecting a win out of this round. I mean, good peek there off the Omen flash. Just kind of unlucky that the Raze boombot got you.
I'm dead. There's a gun in heaven. There's one in heaven too.
Spike planted.
So yeah, I understand you're trying to lurk here, but you're playing this like very, very slow. I probably would have been at least I would have ran through their spawn for the most part until I got to like around B main, just because like it would have helped you with timings a little bit. It seemed kind of excessive to slow walk that entire portion. But yeah, so just work on like moving a little more quickly when you think you can get away with it, instead of playing like overly cautious, because timing means a lot in this game. But anyway, you guys are back on a full buy, and you are now playing B Heaven.
Joke's over. You're dead.
Nothing B.
The hunt begins.
Sounds like they're all A. You rotate.
What happened to my gun? 175, 45, 71.
Spike planted.
Out there.
Last player standing.
70 killjoy.
There, you know, I wouldn't say a whole lot
Out there.
different
Last player standing.
that you could have done. I don't know. Maybe one thing is after you throw the smoke, just dash
Out
across.
there.
Because a lot of people, maybe at lower elos, don't know this. Your dash, when you dash, you have full sight when you dash. So you could throw that smoke, dash to the left, you know, while looking at sight, get that info, and then try to peek. But, you know, instead you kind of just, like, dry peek this, and, like, they're going to be expecting, you know, they might, 9 times out of 10, they're going to have someone watching the walkout A main. That's just, like, to be expected by this point. So, yeah, just use a little bit more of your utility there to, you know, make a little bit better chances. And then also, too, you did get the 1v1. It just, you know, came down to aim and just got out-aimed, so... So it looks like you guys are back on a full buy.
Raise move up me.
You should run.
And they're alting B main. So here, I would expect my team, if we can't kill the Killjoy ult, I would expect my team to just group up around B, and then, you know, we're going to do a 5-man retake on B. That's what I would go for by this point. And then also, to look for the lurk mid, just in case, you know, there is that one lone person on the other team that's trying to lurk up mid.
Mid. They broke. It's A. 2 on A.
Oh, but they faked it. That's fine. It happens. No, you still expect to do the retake with your team.
Spike planted.
Haven't said.
2 on site. Last Reyna and Viper.
Alright, I'm going out heaven. Hell clear.
Back left side, just in the corner.
Blocking sight.
And Reyna's close.
One enemy remaining.
Reyna's dead.
And you guys get the pick. So, good job overall. Good round.
Reyna mid.
Hot
B.
bitch.
Looks like a B split. One mid. Teammates had a couple B min.
Joke's over. You're dead.
So here, it feels kind of, I don't know, off that you don't calm that Raze is also mid. Because I'm pretty sure you didn't calm that earlier. So, like, that's just something that, you know, I would be calming. Hey, like, Raze boombot in mid, you know. And then maybe one of these guys that are on your team that are CT, you know, they can come and help you.
One more mid, raise mid.
Going back to that death, you get first unfortunate there that they don't swing you enough where you can really get any damage. But then secondly, like, you repeak, and like, I don't know if I necessarily agree with that repeak, just because, again, like, you have you have so much util, and you do try to like dash away, which is fine. And like, it maybe if you would have got like that headshot a little sooner or something, you could have done that. But at the same time, like if you would have thrown a smoke and maybe isolated that 1v1 a little better, and you know got a pick and then dash away, it just would have been better overall because you know you would still be alive and still have a pick, but instead you just get traded out instantly. Excuse me. But yeah, so I would again use more util, throw a smoke, delay it, maybe isolate a 1v1 if someone runs through the smoke, you know, something like that. See if your team wins. And they do. Nice. So back on another bye. Oh, you got an op. Alright, let me rewind this a little bit.
I'm up in mid.
Nice pick.
One more.
Why not to repeat?
One more would be nice. It's like.
Raise his mid. Or one.
She's out.
Play safe.
They're both on BS.
Yep.
Yeah, so here it's kind of hard to notice in the moment, and I completely understand because you're trying to focus, you know, on your scope. But in the future, and I'm almost positive pros would realize this, is the Reyna was on site killing your team, and that's fine because you were still looking mid because you thought the Raze might still be mid. But also, in your headphones, you can hear someone running B main when there's only 2 people left. So automatically, you know that, you know, Raze is B main, Reyna's on site. Probably could have turned like 5 seconds quicker to try to help your team with the Reyna because you don't have to worry about mid anymore. And then, you know, maybe even get a pick on the Reyna that's destroying your team and, you know, have a shot at making this like a 3v1 or something like that. So just be like a little quicker on picking that up, maybe, is what I'm trying to say.
Spike
I'm holding B
planted.
main. I'm pretty sure Raze is still B main.
Yeah, there, I would say also too,
Yeah, both.
you're holding a fine angle.
Spike
I'm holding
planted.
B main. I'm
because
pretty
you
sure
don't know
Raze is still B main.
Oh, you thought Raze is B main. That's fine. But you can hold the B main angle way farther back without exposing yourself to the bottom of the site like that. And you kind of were doing a great job, and then all of a sudden you like inch forward
I'm
here,
pretty sure Raze is still B main.
and then the Reyna just peeks you off of like an off angle, and you know you're not expecting it. You know it happens, but like you also could have just held that same angle from the back of B main and stayed alive.
Could be hell.
One enemy remaining.
See if your team wins, and ooh, they do not.
Viper wall A. It's A. Three.
Yeah, so here, automatically, I'm thinking you took too much time looking mid. In ranked, especially after reading the enemy team so far right now, they've only 5-man sites basically. And you know, your Sova is pushing up out of B main there, so you know they're not in B main, and your team already called A, and it just you're kind of held mid for a really long time, when in reality you probably could have rotated more
Look up
quickly.
Raze guy. I'm about to go out after my smoke.
I'm gonna flash out there.
Either way, good pick on that Phoenix earlier. Good call out what you're gonna
Last
do,
Last player
and
standing.
then your team just can't get the trades to follow because they're on pistols. But you know that's fine. Maybe rotate a little quicker. Other than that, I think you did a good job.
Too mid.
All right, so hold mid. You guys are back on a bye. There again, you don't calm raises mid when you should be calming that. And then also too, looks like you kind of like slow peeked this fight, or you weren't really ready for her to peek. Yeah, your crosshair just could have been better there. And yeah, it just looked like you weren't ready for the fight. And again, too, like,
You should run.
you know, you die with util a lot, specifically smokes. Throw a smoke down to B heaven entrance just to delay them, like make them think like, hey, like, should I run through this smoke? Like, is Jett gonna be in the smoke? You know, make them think a little bit instead of just having this raise just, you know, W key you.
Flash left side.
See if your team wins. And they do not. Oof, this is a rough game. Oh, sorry. One.
Okay.
Joke's over. You're dead.
Nice pick.
We're in a dead mid. I'm giving up mid.
Watch your earbuds.
Swing
Good
forward.
second pick. Way to hold an off angle. Also, for anyone who's like new to Valorant or maybe doesn't know what I'm talking about, when I say off angle, it means an angle that isn't typically held in the game. So by Jason being on that box, you know, that raise, naturally her crosshair isn't going to automatically go on the top of the box when she's clearing that angle. It's probably going to go to the side, to like the right of it, a little lower. So by Jason holding that off angle, you know, it has her, or it makes her adjust that crosshair, so it gives him an advantage.
Phoenix both one.
One enemy remaining.
Wait for me.
Spike down
I think
A.
Rams.
Spike spotted A.
Aw, thought to try harder.
Good kill. Nice little 3K.
Last round in the half.
I mean, I'll also say, like, I know I'm kind of harping on this, like, you survived the round with 2 updrafts and 3 smokes again. You did use your dash at the end, which was good, but at the same time, I'm sure you could have found, like, a good spot in maybe 1 or 2 of those fights to throw a cloudburst to make sure you don't get refragged.
I need this.
You want me, Silver?
Alright, big round here. You guys are on a full buy. Hopefully you guys make it 8-4.
Two mid.
Mid B.
Way to not over peek that and just kind of
You should
play with them a little bit to make sure you don't get picked.
They could be your ropes. Oh man.
Oh my god.
Last player standing.
Alright, I don't know what we're doing on B.
Yeah, I mean, so that was kind of unfortunate. If it would have stopped, if your Cypher would have stopped here while you're holding this angle, I think it would have been fine. But he just kind of creeps up here, and you're not able to really
Player standing.
trade him as well as you
On B.
could. Like, you can't really peek into that Reyna, and then she just overly peeks you because she's having an unreal game, and then you also die. So just kind of unfortunate, and, you know, kind of throws the round overall. So I wouldn't say that's entirely your fault. That yours more just came down to aim, but the Cypher also kind of just messed your team up by making sure, you know, there wasn't anybody mid. But anyway, good half. Hopefully you guys turn around this half.
Flood side here maybe. Oh, can you smoke heaven?
Alright, starting the second half.
Camming for close.
See what you guys got.
Left right clear. Viper's here.
Really like you creating space like that. You know, really good to throw that smoke and then dash into it. And then also good comms that Viper was elbow.
Enemy spotted A.
Reload.
One enemy remaining.
Hell, hell, hell.
Nice. Good round. Good job by your end. Create space. Good job.
They have nothing to.
I also like this call to buy a bulldog. I might have even tried to see if I could force like a phantom or something. Just because as a team, you know they're gonna be on pistols, the other team. And if you guys all survive this round, then you know you're gonna have 4 specters and only 1 longer range gun. So I would, I like buying that longer range gun, at least 1 to 2 people on my team, just because it makes it a little easier when the enemy team is actually on a full buy to like win those long range battles.
Killjoy and Viper, so if we kill one of them, that's just a free sight. Just need to play picture. I don't know about now.
Cover going out.
She's bodied.
2 male. They're both concussed as well.
Revealing area. There they
Nice
are.
flash. Nice flash me.
Spike down B.
There.
One
Okay, you guys got that
enemy
pick,
remaining.
and then looks like you win the round. There, you kind of bait your Sova, not gonna lie.
Revealing area.
You let him entry, and he has spike. When like, at the very least, bare minimum, you could have thrown a smoke here, because you know people are either playing close sight, rafters, or pillar. I feel like a lot of the time they're playing pillar. So, throw a smoke to at least help them, and, also to try to be, like, the first one in as Jett and, get those frags. Especially because they're on an eco, so, they're probably going to have sheriffs at the max, and, dashing in and creating that space and kind of getting them off guard really helps your team overall. And maybe you guys all could have survived this round instead of just 4.
One more heaven.
One enemy remaining.
Here you go.
Yeah, then you guys won. Nice.
I just pinged room. Well, let me cam instead of you wolfing, okay? It's just faster than file. Raise on ping. I just pinged Roomba. Let's go.
I'm gonna check the close shake box.
Our spike carrier is killed.
So you don't calm that Killjoy's on A, which I think you should.
Don't fight, don't fight, don't fight, don't fight, don't fight.
Just to confirm with your team that, she's still in the same spot you guys thought she was. Good comms to say don't fight because you're flanking.
Not my fucking mate.
Yeah, we could go ahead.
Deploying drone.
Blocking sight.
I got sprayed.
There, I don't love your positioning.
Yeah, we
You're
could
kind of out
Deploying drone.
in the middle of that, like, of this whole area,
I got sprayed.
when you could probably just be holding it from, like, the side, like, without exposing your full body. And then 2, your team is calling to go A, but yet you're still, like, looking mid. And I understand the Sova's droning, so you want to, like, make sure he doesn't die, which is fine, but you could have, like, held it from a better spot.
Last player standing.
I do like the call to throw the smoke be heaven, because that does block the line of sight. You also just kind of got timinged by the Reyna peeking you and killing you. See if this guy clutches. She does not, unfortunately.
Yeah, we can always put pressure mid and then figure
Even spike there by itself.
But anyway, you guys are on a full buy. Looks like you are going to take mid and do a B split.
I prefer smoke on B.
Scanning ahead.
Reloading.
Reloading. Cover going out. Shot down.
Scout
Die
destroyed.
behind the box heaven. I'm gonna flash
Blocking
it
sight.
So here,
Viper gun on B.
you're playing very, very passive, and that's okay, I guess. But like also you got to realize is Jett, like your job is to entry, right? So you want to be creating space for your team, etc. But also what I see here too is look on your screen where everybody's looking. You have pretty much 3 people in front of you all looking B heaven at some angle, and then there's you behind. Well, in my experience in ranked, people love to wait for the team to run up to B heaven, and then they'll just peek out of ropes and get 1K, 2K, 3K, whatever, because nobody's looking. So here, if you are playing passive, if you are in the back of the group, definitely be looking ropes while your team has B heaven. You got to trust them to have B heaven. There's 3 of them. There's only 1 of you behind, so check your flank. Make sure nobody pops out of ropes.
I'm gonna flash.
And then also too, as like a team dynamic, I don't know if I love Cypher having Spike by himself in B main. Just because if there's 2 people that push B main, kill Cypher, and then they have Spike, and then they're just going to defend Spike in B main, and it's going to be a lot harder for you guys to do anything about it.
Viper gonna be.
Nothing.
How hard was that?
Yeah.
Spike down B. One enemy.
Yeah, and also there too, like you were just pretty much let your team entry, and you didn't like dash on the site, didn't really throw that many smokes, or create any space, and maybe
Scott, you should try facing them out.
that whoever died on your team wouldn't have died if you entried a little harder.
Try doing that. 'Cause they're gonna look away. Can someone buy me talking about chips?
My thanks.
But good stuff. You guys are coming back. You guys are on another full buy, and I think they're on an eco.
Shadows traveling.
Oh, there you go.
Enemy spotted me.
The other way.
Male.
Scanning ahead.
We're camming that. Hold on.
Shock dart.
We push that. We push that.
Reloading.
Could be up in main. I was able to put it down. How clear? Sewers.
One enemy remaining.
Sewers.
So I'd say there it still looks like you're playing a little passive and slow, but at the same time there are other teams on an eco, so it's kind of justified.
Going Valorant.
Not a huge issue with that, and you also got to kill because you slow peeked the raise to a CT, so it's fine. Good job.
Killjoy's playing A, and the
Viper
Viper's
wall
playing
mid.
B.
So a big thing here too is I'm always telling my team that, well, I guess first off, in Valorant, a lot of the times when a team is constantly winning, it goes, both teams are on a full buy, then the team that wins is on another full buy, but then the team that loses is back on pistols. And the team that keeps losing keeps going between pistols, full buy, pistols, full buy, pistols, full buy, etc. until they break that streak if they keep losing. So here, I would be telling my team, I'm like, hey guys, we have 5 ults. They're on a full buy. Let's keep this win streak going, because the win streak is huge in Valorant, especially with it being, 1st to 13. So I would be saying, hey guys, let's use our ults here, if it makes sense, just because we want to win this round. It's like a very important round.
We have a lot of bullets here.
Oh, and you did say it, so good job.
I usually try using that. Pushing out A.
Revealing area.
Reloading. Reloading.
There you go.
Heal up, squad.
Viper.
Can we go A off that? They might
retrieved
rotate
the
B like
spike.
we lost.
I think we go A off that.
Let's just run through spawn.
So you guys got some pretty big picks early here. I like the call to rotate A. Just because they probably all would have been rotated already.
It's not active. It's not
Blocking
active
sight.
for this stuff.
Blocking sight.
Finding safe.
I like those smokes. Good job.
I still have a sewer trip, so. Nice.
Wanna push CT with me?
Heaven.
Yeah, pushing screen city. Let's go.
One heaven.
Just bait me here.
One enemy remaining.
Yeah, so that was a really, really good job. And for those who didn't pick up on it, Jason said to the Sky, hey, do you want to push CT with me? She said yes. They both pushed CT. Then the Sky's like, hey, just bait me. And Jason was holding an off angle. And, you know, that whole situation, because they were working together, made it so that Killjoy didn't, you know, just pick off Jason if he just went by himself and get the gun and then, you know, get a 3K and win the round. So stuff like that, especially at these higher elos where kids are so freaking good, is what kind of separates, you know, winning games and losing games sometimes, is just not giving your opponent the opportunity to make plays like that. So really good job working with your team, really good call outs, really good comms. Good job overall.
Hawk out. Blinded. Got him.
Just don't pick it.
Swing
Please.
off me,
Stop,
swing
stop,
off.
don't pick it. Stop.
Reloading. Hawk out. Blinded.
Nice. Good job. Good round.
We play picks again. Like Jett and me and Omen and Sova and stuff like that.
I got pressure mid still.
We're playing a trio on A.
Cover going out.
Viper wall.
Who can? Heaven with Eagle?
I want to flash right side, see if anyone's there peeking.
Yeah,
Yeah,
flash.
someone might be
I think
under.
we take Heaven. I think we take Heaven.
Alright, I can flash you guys in heaven if you want.
Go, 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 go. Yeah, yeah.
Sure.
Nothing.
I'm gonna start making my way over.
I'm just holding elbow.
We go.
Raise is on site.
Alright, so you guys are going A, and you know one's mid because Omen just died. But then you also, I mean, you really should know too that nobody's cleared sight yet. Just because, like, everybody's in heaven. Like, you guys have a lot of control, but
Yeah, raise somewhere
Yeah,
inside.
good.
Back call.
yeah. And then you don't clear box, which is what, like, a lot of people hide by
Last player standing.
when they're on eco. So, and then it just kind of throws around. But it happens, you know, people forget to clear corners all the time. You just got to make sure if you know an area isn't cleared that you clear every angle possible, especially when they're on an eco. Because all it takes is for you to not clear an angle, and then
Revealing area.
you're dead. Because they have a deagle and they're going to headshot you. You guys lose the round. Really unfortunate.
I'm gonna throw my ult.
One here.
Just kill them rotating.
Those smokes for you.
Yeah,
Let's play
here.
camp.
I'll throw my ult down.
Fading,
There we go.
one here.
Not a huge fan of that sky ult, just because it doesn't really give you, like, that much info.
One heaven, there's one.
You know one's backside now, though, at the very least.
She caught both of them volley. She's still stuck backside.
Deploying drone.
Shot. Can you shot that? Wow, guys.
Spike down B.
A couple things here. I'm fine with you holding the Killjoy there, but at the same time, if your team would have let Sova drone that and just get the dart tag first, and then you would have just been able to kill her no matter what, because you could have sprayed her through the box.
I'm behind heaven.
So that kind of stinked,
That's my
but
Heaven.
overall it's fine. You guys got the trade, so it's 4-4.
Viper Heaven.
One enemy remaining.
Nice entry, nice pick, good job.
Sucks.
I'd still say though, again, you have 3 smokes, and this is kind of a trend. You don't really use like your smokes that much, and I guarantee you, if you think it through, there's at least 1 or 2 times you could be throwing smokes to make it beneficial for your team.
I think we play picks again.
I have a bunch of info. We can clear short things and then just hit, like, go 5 on site.
It was too close. Let me.
Alright, thanks.
Their A hold is weak, so just call them lucky.
Yeah, I'll just work now with you guys.
It was too close. Let me drone.
Where are my bullets going?
One screen.
Nice trade.
Down.
Yeah, come
Omen, when you smoke, can you make sure the side of the smoke is in there?
I will say a good example when he's a smoke.
Just call him lucky.
When you see your cipher peek a main or a site, and he sees two people, you could have thrown a smoke on the ramp and then peeked with your cipher. Just because it would have helped in case anyone was ramped, so they wouldn't be able to trade you. But you got lucky. There's no one there.
One screen, one screen.
Able to get the trade. Good stuff.
Omen, when you smoke, can you make sure the side of the smoke is in there? Instead of outside, so they can't toss into in heaven?
So you know Raze is A heaven, but
It's gone.
Phoenix is probably inside right now.
Joke's over.
you didn't comment, which isn't that good.
Enemy spotted A.
Omen, no Phoenix, no armor. Phoenix, no armor on this side.
Good pick.
Go B, go B.
Yeah.
I got the
I'm leaving you
spike.
solo.
Spawn.
There too, I also would have, you know, maybe smoked your Sova across, or just smoked it anyway, just to make him guess what you were doing instead of
One
just
enemy
backing off.
remaining.
Last one pushing.
But it's a little nitpicky, so overall it's fine. Just an idea, you know, smokes take info away from the enemy team and
Lol. Good arrow.
might have helped your Sova out. You guys really came back in this game though. Good job not tilting.
Reyna
Watching
jump pick
right.
ramps.
Okay.
Oh, sorry. I'll watch right.
So again, you know, there's one ramps. Always good to call him that.
Careful being main.
Reload.
That's Phoenix and Reyna both A. I think we push B. I'm making noise, eh?
One hold.
Spike drop.
Can you flash B heaven, Omen? Mark it?
I like that call. The flash be heaven from the Omen.
One
30
Drop on
seconds
the
left.
Yeah. So that you kind of like delayed your dash, and I don't really know why. It looked like you were hesitant
Can you
to
flash B heaven, Omen? Mark
like
it?
make an aggressive play. Because you call out the flash, you know he's gonna flash, right? And then he calls out. He says he flashes. You should have flashed, or you should have dashed. Is what I mean. Pretty much right as you turn the corner. Right here. You want to dash there, and then updraft. But instead you like walk for a while, and then you miss the kill who's flashed. And then you die
Help, help, help.
because of it. Which is just unfortunate. But at least they're able to get the trade. Oh. And you guys don't win the round.
I think this is a really good game. It takes a lot of skill.
Unfortunate.
Yeah, do you just want to execute A? So well.
I'll shoot.
Okay,
Yeah.
that works too.
So Omen's gonna flash ramp again.
Scanning ahead.
One close.
Again, looks like you weren't ready.
Blinded.
And then you kind of didn't know what you wanted to do there because you saw the Phoenix. You probably almost could have trusted your team to kill the Phoenix and then keep pushing ramp, to be honest. It's a hard call to make, especially when you see that Phoenix so close. But you know, if you would have dedicated yourself to pushing ramp, you would have been able to shoot that boom bot, and then maybe even killed Raze in the process. You never know.
Blocking sight.
You're gonna get
What's this?
Either way, see if you guys win
You
this.
should run. Found one. Healing over here.
We're gonna have to push this.
Both dead.
So you know there's 2A main.
Let's hit 80. Nice.
Process heaven. So right now, you know, since I think it was your Sky, or sorry, Sova died A main to 2 people, you know they're pretty much on site already. So you gotta go
Oh,
like
in this thing,
quick
yeah,
right
yeah,
now
yeah.
because Spike is not planted for you, and you're actually in like a disadvantageous position right now.
Last player
And
standing.
then they peek you, and it comes down to kind of aim that you don't get the kill.
Fire in the hole!
And then, yeah, and then they're able to defuse. So kind of unfortunate. Maybe, you know, I would have just gone a little more quickly there too, because maybe if you peek that raise, she's not able to peek you, or it throws her off, and then you get the kill. You just never know. I will say overall, you had a pretty good game. I would say the few things that you could work on as a whole. I would say utility usage. You don't throw enough smokes to benefit you. To isolate those 1v1 kills or battles, and to get you out of sticky situations. So work on using your utility more. The higher you get elo wise, the less you need to rely on these dry peak 1v1 battles, and more on just using your util to your advantage, just because kids are so good that you want every advantage you can over them. And then two, I would say don't play as passive. I'd play a little more active or ready to be aggressive. Couple examples were those omen flashes where it didn't look like you were ready and you kind of delayed your dash a little too long, and then also just playing behind your team when you're playing Jett and you need to entry and create that space. So I would say those are the two big things overall, pretty well. And then you also had like a few deaths that you died just to straight aim, which everybody has those, so you can't really hate too much on those specific deaths. And but yeah, other than that, good game overall, and work on those things and keep improving. But that's really it. Again, this is Jason, Diamond 3 VOD review by Extreme Shot. Really appreciate everybody listening. Please like and subscribe. Thanks.